Welcome back. We are looking at reaction equilibria and we are working out some examples to make sure that we are all in the same plane in terms of comfort in dealing with the quantities related to reactions. For this we have looked at some of the concepts that were learnt in the earlier classes, and we are in the middle of working out a set of 3 examples. We worked out one in the last class. We will work out 2, or you are going to work it out. I am going to give you enough time to work it out in this class, and so in this class we will just look at these 2 examples. Example 6.2 reads as the standard Gibbs free energy changes at pH 7 delta G dash, and recall that it is different from delta G naught because the physiological pH is pH 7 and delta G naught is defined under conditions of pH 0, which is irrelevant. So we use delta G dash. This is what we again recalled in the previous solution. So the delta G dash values for the following reactions are given next to each. This is again ATP hydrolysis, ATP plus water giving you ADP and inorganic phosphate, and as we had seen delta G dash, the standard value was minus 7.7 kilocalories per mole, and glucose 6 phosphate plus water, the hydrolysis of glucose 6 phosphate to give you glucose plus inorganic phosphate. The delta G dash value for that happens to be minus 3.14 kilocalories per mole. Somebody has very carefully determined the values of delta G dash for these reactions, thousands of reactions. Now the question here is, or the need here is, calculate the standard Gibbs free energy change at pH 7 and the equilibrium constant for the phosphorylation of glucose, which is coupled with ATP hydrolysis in the cell. It is a coupled reaction, the phosphorylation of glucose and ATP. If you recall, that is one of the first reactions in glycolysis and is catalyzed by the enzyme hexokinase. For our purposes it can be considered as the reaction between glucose and ATP. Just take it as a reaction between glucose and ATP. Okay. And so before I present the solution, let me give you about 20 minutes to work this out. It is going to involve a few things, and only thing is that we are seeing these reactions in the context of biological systems. Go ahead please, 20 minutes. Okay, hopefully you experienced some deja vu moments and clarified some of the concepts that you had learnt earlier. The solution is as follows: the coupled process that we are interested in, first the reaction that we are interested in, the process, as we were suggested in the problem statement itself, glucose plus ATP giving you glucose 6 phosphate plus ADP. If you recall, we are looking at the phosphorylation of glucose which is coupled to ATP, and we have written that reaction as glucose plus ATP giving you glucose 6 phosphate plus ADP. This particular reaction can be obtained by the two reactions or from the two reactions given in the problem statement itself, just by adding them appropriately. You know, the glucose plus phosphate giving you glucose 6 phosphate plus water is reaction A. This is of course given, this is not given as it is written here in the problem statement, and ATP plus water, the hydrolysis of ATP, to give you ADP plus PI. If you add these two, it can be easy to see that you get glucose plus ATP, because water here will cancel out, PI here will cancel out, and what we are left with is glucose plus ATP giving you glucose 6 phosphate plus ADP right here. So, just the addition of these two will be fine, and this directly comes from what is known in the earlier classes, that if the delta G dash values are additive. Therefore, the needed delta G dash value is nothing but the delta G dash of reaction A added to the delta G dash value of the reaction B. So, if we have delta G dash of A and delta G dash of B, we are done. We already have delta G dash of B in the problem statement, but delta G dash of A we do not have. What was given in the problem statement is the reverse of the reaction that we need, or reaction A is the reverse of the second reaction that was given in the problem statement. So, from the delta G dash values that were given, we know that delta G dash A value for the above reaction is minus of minus 3.14, which is plus 3.14 kilocalories per mole. It is the reverse, therefore, we put in a minus there, and delta G B dash value was minus 7.7 kilocalories per mole, and therefore, delta G dash of the reaction that we are looking for, which is the ATP catalyzed phosphorylation of glucose, and we have already established that as being equal to delta G A dash plus delta G B dash, and just adding these two together we get minus 4.56 kilocalories per mole. Also, from delta G dash equals minus RT ln K equilibrium dash, and this again we derived in this particular course, or we saw in the earlier one of the earlier lectures this relationship. We had used this extension, we had used this equation extensively subsequently, but this equation itself was known to you from earlier classes. From this we can get the equilibrium constant that we are looking for is exponential of minus delta G dash by RT. Substituting the values, we get exponential of minus delta G dash is nothing but 4.56 into 10 power 3 calories per mole, and multiplied by 4.18 to convert it into SI units, divided by 8.31, which is R in SI units, times 298 Kelvin, 25 degrees C, and that works out to be 2.2 into 10 power 3. Okay, we will work out one more problem to become better comfortable with these concepts, which is this example 6.3. NADH, nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, the hydrogenated form of that NADH is a molecule that has energetic significance. You can recall this, NADH molecules result from the glycolysis pathway, the TCA cycle, and they are the electron carriers between these reactions and the oxidative phosphorylation pathway in the cell. If you recall the metabolism of the cell, the primary metabolism from your biochemistry course, you would have done this quite in detail. One of the reaction pathways in the cell of importance is of importance in lactic acid production is the lactic acid dehydrogenase catalyzed conversion of pyruvate to lactate. Remember, the end point of glycolysis is considered to be pyruvate, and that goes to lactate by this lactate dehydrogenase reaction. That is how you get lactate, and Lactococcus lactis essentially has this pathway completely channelized, and therefore such organisms are used for production of lactic acid, and that is essentially what produces your curd from milk. So, that is represented as, or let me complete this, of importance in lactic acid production is the lactic dehydrogenase catalyzed conversion of pyruvate to lactate coupled with NADH breakdown. This NADH breakdown also happens there, and also lactate could be replaced with ethanol in some cases in some organisms, and there also you have an NADH breakdown. This is represented as pyruvate plus NADH plus H plus giving you lactate plus NAD. What is needed is to estimate the free energy change for the above reaction when the ratios of concentrations of lactate to pyruvate as well as NAD plus to NADH, NADH when it gives out a hydrogen ion becomes NAD plus, and the ratios of lactate to pyruvate as well as NADH to NAD plus to NADH are in the first instance 1 and in the second instance 1000. The standard reduction potentials for the half reactions, recall what half reactions are given next to them. Pyruvate plus 2H plus 2E minus gives you lactate. This is one half reaction where the standard reduction potential E naught dash, again the dash refers to a pH 7 condition, equals minus 0.19 volt, and NADH, I am sorry, this is a standard reduction potential here, NAD plus 2H plus 2E minus giving you NADH plus H plus, and here the standard reduction potential of this half reaction is minus 0.32 volts. Okay. Take about 20-25 minutes and work this out. Go ahead please. Okay, you hopefully would have recalled something to do with half reactions, reduction potentials and so on. If you did not, I will show you how we go about it, and also in this case we are looking at two concentration ratios. So let us go through the solution. Let us number the reactions as follows. pyruvate plus 2 H plus 2 E minus giving you lactate, let us call that as 1, and NAD plus 2 H plus 2 E minus giving you NADH plus H plus, let us call that equation 2. And the needed reaction that we require in the problem statement is obtained as 1 minus 2, and therefore the delta E naught dash that we require is nothing but E naught 1 dash minus E naught 2 dash. This why don't you work it out, 1 minus 2 you would have done this already, check whether 1 minus 2 gives you the reaction that we are looking for. So delta E naught dash equals E naught 1 dash minus E naught 2 dash, which is taking the values from the problem statement. E naught 1 dash was minus 0.19 volts and E naught 2 dash was minus 0.32 volts, minus 0.19 minus of minus 0.32 plus 0.13 volts. And we know from earlier classes the relationship between delta G and the difference in the reduction potentials, that is delta G dash equals minus NF, the Faraday's constant, times delta E naught dash, and N in this case the number of electrons transferred happens to be 2, therefore minus 2 into 96,500 is the Faraday's constant in the required units times 0.13 volts, we get 25.1 kilojoules per mole. Recall that Faraday's constant is essentially a conversion factor between energy units in normal energy kilojoules and in electrical energy units. Now the above value is the standard free energy change at pH 7, that is for part A when the ratios of lactate to pyruvate as well as NAD plus to NADH are equal to 1. Why is that? To appreciate this, the second ratio is given. For non-standard ratios we need to go back to the half reactions itself. To do that we need to look at the Nernst equation that says E equals E naught dash plus RT by NF ln natural log of the oxidized form concentration divided by the reduced form concentration. Therefore E1 turns out to be minus 0.19 E naught dash plus RT by NF substituted here log of 1 by 1000, the ratio was 1000 of lactate to pyruvate, therefore pyruvate to lactate turns out to be 1 by 1000, which is minus 0.279 volts, and E2 in a similar fashion happens to be minus 0.231 volts, and therefore delta E is E1 minus E2, which is minus 0.279 minus of minus 0.231, which is minus 0.048, and delta G dash, which is minus NF delta E naught dash, is minus N, which is 2 F 96,500, delta E naught dash we have calculated here as minus 0.048, and the value turns out to be plus 9.264 kilojoules per mole. Know that the delta G value is positive, and you know from higher secondary school that for a spontaneous reaction the delta G has to be negative, and so what this essentially means is that the reaction as written cannot proceed spontaneously. In fact the reverse reaction would be the one that is spontaneous under the given concentration ratios of 1000 to 1, whereas the first part was spontaneous as written. So that was interesting, I suppose. When we are out of time, so when we come back we will begin with something new, which is a formalism to consider electrolytes in biological systems. See you then.